Hare Krishna Sadhatan. Braje prasetham navanitachoram gopangananam chadukulechoram अनेकजन्मार्जिता पापचोरम् चोरगगन्यं पुरुषं नमामि श्रीराधिकाय हृदयस्य चोरं नवाम्बुधूषामलाकान्तिचोरम् पदाश्रितं च समस्तचोरं चोरगगन्यं पुरुषं नमामि अकिञ्चनीकृत्य पदाश्रितं या करोति भिक्षुं पतिगेहहीन केनापि याहुभिषाणाचोरयेत् दृष्टश्रुतो वा न जगत्त्रयेऽपि यदीयनामापि धृतशेषं गिरिप्रसारनपि पापराशिम् आश्चर्यरूपो ननु चोरयेत् दृष्टश्रुतो वा न मया कदापि दानं च मानं च तद्दिन्द्रियाणि प्राणं च श्रित्वा मम सर्वम् एव पलायसे कुत्रत्रितोदयाचर त्वं भक्तिदं नासि माया निरुद्धै छिन्नसि घोरं यमपाशबन्धं भेनसि भीमं भवपाशबन्धम् छिन्नसि सर्वस्य समस्तबन्धं नैवात्मनो भक्तकृतं तु बन्धम् मन्मानसे तमसराशिघोरे कारागृहे दुःखमायानिबध्नै लभस्व हे चोरहरे चिराय स्वचोरदोषोचितम् एव धन्य कराग्रहे वस सदा हृदि मदीये मद्भक्तिपाशधृतबन्धना निश्चलास्तान् त्वं कृष्ण हे प्रलयकोटिशतान्तरेऽपि सर्वस्वचोरहृदयान् विमोचयामि. Hare Krishna translation. I offer pranam to that foremost of thieves, who is famous in Braja as the butter thief, and he who steals the gopis' clothes, and who, for those who take shelter of him, steals the sins which have accrued over many lifetimes. I offer pranam to the foremost of thieves, who steals Srimati Radhika's heart, who steals the dark lustre of a fresh rain cloud, and who steals all the sins and sufferings of those who take shelter of his feet. He turns his surrendered devotees into paupers and wanderers, homeless beggars. Aho, such a fearsome thief has never been seen or heard of all in all the three worlds. Mere utterance of his name purges one of a mountain of sins. Such an astonishingly wonderful thief I have never seen or heard of anywhere. O thief, having stolen my wealth, my honor, my senses, my life, and my everything, where can you run to? I have caught you with the ropes of my devotion. You cut the terrible nose of Yamraja, you sever the dreadful nose of material existence, and you slash everyone's material bondage, but you are unable to cut the knot fastened by your own loving devotees. O stealer of my everything, O thief, today I have imprisoned you in the miserable prison house of my heart. which is very fearful due to the terrible darkness of my ignorance, and there for a very long time you will remain receiving appropriate punishment for your crimes of thievery. O Krishna, thief of my everything, the noose of my devotion remaining forever tight, you will continue to reside in the prison house of my heart, because I will not release you for millions of years. Hare Krishna, Radhe Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji, for nice version in translation. So in Purushottam Mass, we are reading this version every day. This is very auspicious to sing this version. So I would like to invite Abhay Ram Prabhuji for taking the session on snapshot or devotion. My voice is little bad. I hope you are able to hear me.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Dandavat Pranam. So, I request all the devotees, please forgive me if I said anything which is inappropriate. And I request all the devotees to bless me. So, we'll start with prayers. We start with the prayers. Okay. Om Ajnanatimiraandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kalamya Bhagavate Supadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yatapalakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sadhana Raghunatvanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sadhutam Parijanathaitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sadhana Gaita Shri Vipakam विशकान्वितांसा नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमतेन्द्रगुणस्वामी नामने नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमद्भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिने नामने नमस्ते सर्वगुरुवेदरमणिप्रसादिने कृष्णस्मरणोपासनादोषकारिणे श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि भक्तवृंद Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So before starting the session, I want to, explain about the Purushottam Mass, because Purushottam Mass is one of the auspicious mass of all the months, and it is also known as Adhika Mass, and it is specially blessed by Krishna. So I will discuss a short story, and after the story, we will go to our lecture. Wait a minute. So the story is like Draupadi story, like when Lord Krishna visited, Pandavas during their exile, seeing their suffering, Lord Krishna was like to the Pandavas, you did not honor Purushottamas very well, so that's why you were suffering. So Lord Shri Krishna explained them like what Draupadi did in her last life, So Draupadi was a daughter of sage named Medhavi. You can see here. So she was a daughter of the sage Medhavi, and because of Kala, her parents were died, and Janmrutu Jaravadi. So her parents were died, and she was very feeling very lonely, and she became sorrowful. So one day Durvasa Muni visited her, and seeing her condition, Durvasa Muni suggested that to end this suffering, you have to start fasting on or following Purushottamas properly. And Durvasa Muni was started to give the tell the glories of the Purushottamas, like how Purushottamas is so great, how Lord Krishna personally blessed this Purushottam month. Because Purushottam month was known as Malamasa before, and a lot of people used to think, oh my god, this is inauspicious. we should not start anything, we should not get married, we should not get new home. Brahmina used to say that, oh shit, this is Malamas, we should not do anything in this month. Then Adhik Mas was feeling very bad and very sad, and then he approached Lord Vishnu. Vishnu said, don't worry, I will take you to the Golok Vrindavan and Krishna will solve your problem. So Vishnu took Adhik Mas, Malmas to the Golok Vrindavan. And then Krishna saw this month is very sad and asked Vishnu, like, what happened? Why this person is so sad? Why this month is so sad? Lord Vishnu told this is the picture of everything, Krishna. Now you only please suggest him what he have to do. So Krishna was like, okay, I will give you benediction. This month is known as a Purushottam month and everything. So this, like this, Durvasa Muni was glorifying the glories of Purushottam month to Draupadi Devi, in her last life. But Ma Draupadi was like, what is this Durvasa Muni? Are you joking? कार्तिक मंथ से भी कोई अच्छा मंथ हो सकता है क्या? She was like, कार्तिक मंथ से there is some month which is better than कार्तिक month. She offended the Purushottam month, and Durvasa Muni become angry, and he told like, because you offended the Purushottam month, in next life you're gonna suffer. And with this, she lost her beauty. Can see.
We lost you, Prabhuji. Your voice is not coming.
What, Prabhuji?
Anybody else having same problem, or is it only me?
I'm not audible.
Gopi
Hare
Mendra,
Prabhuji
is
is
you able to hear
audible.
him?
Haibol, he's audible.
We can hear him. We can hear him.
Sorry,
Okay,
sorry, wait.
everything. Should I continue?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhuji.
We can hear it. No, thank you.
So she immediately lost her beauty and good fortune, and she was like, oh my god. And then she started to worship Lord Shiva and perform a lot of austerities to please Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva, came in front of her and asked her, what you want, child? She was like, I want to get married. I want pati. She was told this pati or husband 5 times. So Lord Shiva said, because you asked it 5 times, in your next life you're gonna get 5 husbands, and because you offended the Purushottama, you're gonna suffer. And that Krishna explained this whole story because Ma Draupadi, offended Purushottama. So that's why the whole Vanvas took the place. And, that's why the Pandavas were suffering. Then Krishna suggested to follow the Purushottamas properly, like we can see here. So this is how we can follow Purushottamas. So because this is Purushottaman, I just want to glorify the glories of Purushottaman. Now we will get into our main topic, which is snapshot of devotion. So what is snapshot? First of all, we will discuss about what is snapshot. We can see snapshot means the short overview of a situation, person, event, condition, or period of time. There is, you can take as a moment where you enjoyed a lot and you want to store this moment in your life. Or another thing, snapshot is a summary of all the things what you have to say. You can use a snapshot as a moment which you want to remember whole life, or has a summary of something. In shortcut, I want to say that. So now I'm going to take example of from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, written by Sri Rupa Goswami, translated by Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. So what is snapshot of devotion according to Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu? So we can see the primary thing which is needed in our devotion is Adav Shraddha Tata Sadhu Sangha Tata Bhajana Kriya Tato Anartha Nivritti Syat Tato Nishta Ruchis Tata Asaktis Tato Bhavas Tata Prema Bhulanchati. You can see the verse. Sadhakanam ayam prema anaha pradurbhave bhavati krama. So this is the primary thing of a devotion. Like how we can understand what is a devotion. What is the beginning of a devotion? This is the verse. This is first Adashra. The first and foremost thing of a devotion is we have a faith. Faith in the process, faith in the sadhu. And after that, we come to sadhu sangha. tata bhajana kriya, the anartha nivritti. So most of us stuck into this fourth stage because it is very important, and after this stage only we get nishta and ruchi. But a lot of devotees and everyone, like we are all stuck in this anartha nivritti stage only, because it is one of the hardest hill in our devotional service, and we have to cross it. So it is very hard. So, but how we can cross, according to this, we know that this is a snapshot. This is a summary of all devotional service, what we do. But I want to tell you, the snapshot of the snapshot is one thing which is very essential for the devotion. And without that, we can't progress in our devotional life, even though we try a lot of things. We can, you can chant 64 rounds, you can serve all the devotees, you can go to dhams every year, every month, every week. But if you don't have this one thing in our devotional service, you're not going to progress at all, at all. And what is that essential thing which is very important to our devotional service is faith, because faith is the beginning of our devotional service. And if we don't have proper faith in the process we are following, if we don't have faith that, okay, yes, this is the only thing which will take me out of this material world and, put me at the lotus feet of Lord Sri Krishna. If we don't have this kind of faith, it is very hard to survive in devotional service, because after that, you know, we're going to face a lot of problems in our devotional service. We may start asking questions like why we are doing, why I'm doing, I'm not getting any result. What is this process? This process is, legitimate or not? Do I am, coming proper, sampradaya or not? That's the faith is very important. So the first step of the faith, this is some quotes I took from Srila Prabhupada. Faith is a beginning. Without faith, there is no spiritual life. Faith means unflinching trust in something sublime. Shraddha Sabda, so faith means firm conviction that simply by serving Krishna, all other purposes are fulfilled. Association with devotee strengthens the faith, and faith leads one to devotional service. So here Prabhupada give us, one key how we can improve our faith, that is by associating with the devotees who are situated in a nice level or good level in devotional service. But what happens if our faith is not proper? And who is the enemy of our faith? See, if we are not faithful, after some time of our devotional service, we may think, I'm chanting 16 rounds. I also got initiated. I am reading Srimad Bhagavatam. I am reading Bhagavad Gita. I am attending classes. I am giving classes. But still, there is no progress in my devotional service. Oh my God, what is this? This process is correct or not? What is happening in my life? These questions will pop up in our mind. This is the Maya's trick, to bewilder us, to take away from devotional service. Of course, Maya Devi is also devotee, but this is her service to bewilder the souls. Of course, all the conditions are already bewildered, but the souls who are coming to devotional service, now it's the task for Maya Devi to test our faith, like how faithful we are. Does we are faithful to our guru or not? Does we have faith on the holy name or not? There is one devotee. Uh, he asked one time me, like, Prabhuji, I asked one devotee who is chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra from 10 years. I was like, okay, bro, like what you want, what you ask from the devotee. I asked her, Prabhuji, you are chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra from a 10 years. What result you are getting? But that devotee told Prabhu, nothing. I'm just, just doing something, and okay, and because I took initiation, I have to complete my 16. Now that's why I'm doing, because there is nothing, no results are coming to me. So I question this guy, Prabhu, do you chanting, book reading, service is all done with the intention to please Krishna? We are not expecting any result from this. If you are expecting any result from your 16 rounds, then we are the foolish person in the whole world. The 16 rounds were meant to chant to please Lord Shri Krishna and Srimati Radharani. That's the goal of our life. We are not chanting 16 rounds to get something, materially or spiritually, anything. People think, okay, like, give me prema. I want to become this, that. A lot of devotee talks is, I want to become Manjari, I want to become Gopal, I want to become cow in Govaloka Vrindavan. This is not our goal. Our goal is to please Radharani and Krishna. That's it. And it's up to them. If they want to give something, they will give. If not, then we are happy because our Prabhu is happy. Rishikesh, we are serving the Rishikesh. Yes, when we serve the Rishikesh, who is the you know I don't shit, who is the controller of the senses, our senses. Then if we serve Rishikesh senses, then our senses also pleased. If our senses are not getting pleased, means we are stuck. Our faith is not proper. And there is one greatest enemy of our faith, which we'll explain in next slide. So let's see. Killer of our faith, false ego and familiarity. Actually, I forgot to add the familiarity thing. But yes, why we lose faith? Because of false ego. Now you may tell Prabhu, we came into devotional service so that we can get rid of the false ego. Now, how you are saying that because we came into devotional service, because of that we get false ego and we lose our faith? What is this? This is duplicity. This is contradicting with the philosophy. What kind of philosophy you are telling to us? Killer of the faith is the false ego. We came into devotion to kill our false ego. Now we're saying because we came into devotion, we get false ego and our faith is died. What is this? Contradictory. So, yes, after we actually came in devotion service with the basic, faith. We came in the devotion service with innocence, we don't know anything when we came into devotion service. But once we come into devotion service, once we start practicing, once we start, studying, once we get the senior tag, okay, Prabhu, now you are doing bhakti from 2 years or 3 years, you are senior. As soon as we get the tag of a senior devotee, hai ji aap, senior devotee, we think we start to compare ourselves with other devotees. Okay, ये क्या कर रहा है, मेरे से अच्छा कर रहा है, नहीं ना, no, this devotee is doing better than me. No, I am better. I am king. I am Raja. This is how false ego comes. This is some weeds growing near our Bhakti Lata beach. So we have to remove this beach weed, but it is very hard. It comes in Anartha Nivati stage, but people say Anartha means Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Mad, Masari, Ishada. Okay, there is also Anartha, but the greatest Anartha is the false ego, or I should say, our faith shifting from Krishna to us. We are becoming faithful to ourselves more than the process of Krishna consciousness. We start thinking, I know so many shlokas. I am chanting 32 rounds, 64 rounds. In Ekadashi, I am chanting 120 rounds. I am reading Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita. I am killer. I have a lot of knowledge. We have to understand that bhakti doesn't need knowledge. Bhakti only needs blessings and mercy of the devotees. But what happens because of false ego? Because we think a lot of knowledge we have, we start to compare with other devotees. We start to judge other devotees. We don't we don't properly receive the devotees who are new or the elder devotees. We think, okay, ठीक है, ये हमको क्या सिखाएंगे. So that's why I explained the Draupadi Purushottama story, because if you see Draupadi Devi, when Durvasa Muni said, Draupadi, in her past life, you should fast Purushottam Mass, it will give a blessing. And Draupadi Mata was like, how can you tell this, Durvasa Muni? What is this? Is there any month that is higher than Kartika month? This is our knowledge. We may think we are greater than our seniors. Sometimes our seniors tell something to do us, we do other thing. आप क्या बताओगे हमको, हाँ? आप क्या, like we tend to think like, you are a senior, you are doing according to your level, but I'm a modern devotee, I'm a Gen Z devotee. I like to do devotion according to me. We have to understand first thing, to kill false ego, we have to become humble. Now, becoming humble is not a great thing. Literally not a great thing. Now, you should develop one routine, or you should develop one habit to keep your false ego under the control. Now, how is it possible? So one time when I met Radhesham Prabhu, so I asked Radhesham Prabhu, we become very, we get a lot of this, we get false ego because we know a lot of things in devotional service. We are doing a lot of services and we think ourselves great, and we think we are the doer of whatever we are doing. we don't take it as a blessing of a Krishna or blessing of our senior devotees or mentors. We just do it because we think we have skills and how. So Prabhu told me you have to notice whenever you get a false ego, whenever you think you are greater than everyone, how to notice your senior devotees, how they are serving, how they are practicing, how they are humble. And this is a great example. If you see that there is a person who is better than me, he is serving a lot, and he is also pakka in his sadhana. Then we may start think who am I to think I am a great person in the devotional service. The first thing, we have to develop a habit of observing and noticing all other devotees. Probably good qualities. We see all bad qualities. We don't have to focus on bad qualities. We have to see the good qualities, because good qualities of a devotee in devotional service are equally to Krishna's qualities. Even though that quality may be small, but we have to think it is as a small fire, and slowly this fire will become a big, and it will gonna kill all the other bad qualities in the devotees. So first thing we have to observe, or we should develop a habit of observing devotees, or we can learn new things. Like personally, what I do whenever I think I'm a great person, so I go to other practitioners, other religion practitioners. I learn from them, like what they do, how they do, and when I get knowledge from them, I used to think, bro, I really don't know anything. I'm a just piece of shit. How I can be so ghamandi? So first thing, how to reduce our false ego is to develop a habit of observing the devotees, to learning new things, sometimes in devotional service or out of devotional service, but we should manage. We should not go away in the flow of devotional, other other things. And third thing is we should start praying from Guru Maharaj, Prabhupada, and Krishna to bless us, so that we can reduce this false ego and we can become humble. Everyone has their own methods, but if you want to reduce your false ego, the best method is start observing devotees' good qualities, start learning, new things in devotional service, or new things out of the devotional service. The practitioners who are doing other practices, like you can, if you want, you can go to church. If you want, you can go to Buddhism. If you want to go, you can go to witchcrafts. Those who practicing black magic, anything you can learn. Black magic doesn't mean bad. White magic is also there. You can go to those people. You can ask. You can learn. And you can compare in the devotional service. When I was reading Bhagavatam in second canto, sixth chapter, I think so. So there it explained everything, like how if you worship this god, you will get this benefit. If you worship this, you will get this benefit. So sometimes, if to reduce a false ego, you should have to develop more faith in the scriptures. Whenever you read something in our scriptures, we should implicate that points in the world. Like, okay, this person is doing, and this is what written in the Srimad Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita. This is what he gets. Is that person is getting or not? By this process, we will start developing our faith again, and we can reduce the false ego from our heart. Okay, so this is the killer of false ego. I don't know like how you are able to understand or not, but I tried to explain it. Forgive me if there is anything wrong. So this is about killer of false ego. How we can how false ego is killing our faith, and how we can stop this false ego. And another thing I have to mention that familiarity breed contents. When we start associating with devotees, now we become very familiar. Okay, हमारे जान पहचान के हैं, this person, I know this person, who are you? I know this person. I have a lot of contacts in devotees. I'm great. Familiarity also breed content. We start taking our seniors. Okay, हाँ ठीक है, okay, चलेगा. So we should understand, we should never surpass our seniors. Whatever happens, we should never surpass our seniors. If you have some doubt, if you have some things, you are suffering from something, you can express to your senior, Prabhu, this is happening with me, what should I do? But you should not think, okay, Or the best way to reduce familiarity with the senior devotees is to just sit and hear what they're saying. Just hear the classes. Once you start hearing the classes, now you will understand how this person have a deep realizations. That is the best method of everything. You know, once you feel that you are becoming familiar with this devotee, this senior devotee, or anyone, you sit down with the devotee and you can start asking questions. You can tell the devotee, please give me some lecture. By hearing lecture, we become humble. We get to know, okay, this person is not what he is behaving, she is behaving with me. This person is different. So to protect our faith, we have to focus on two things. One is to always always have an eye on false ego, and also in on familiarity. I forgot to mention the familiarity, but yeah, two things are very devastating for our devotional service. That is false ego and being familiar with the devotees. So no, actually, I want to, because I took the concept of faith, uh, because I want to tell about faith. So I explained the killer of faith, that is false ego. But I want to also add a story. Uh, how many people are interested in story? Like there was a story about, first of all, who believes in ghost, like, because if you believe in ghosts, this story will be extraordinary, because this is what happened with me 3 years ago. If you want, I can start explaining it briefly. So what happened? 2023 is about faith, like how faith can really give us Krishna prema and can liberate us from a bondage of birth and death, and how we have to protect this faith. Okay, so this incident happened with me in 2023 May 4th. So I'm not going to explain all things, but briefly I want to tell that my mom was a medium. She has this power that good spirits can come and tell their wishes. So my mom used to get possessed, and I saw my mom from childhood onwards. So it was normal for me. So on 2023 May 4th, that's my Chaturdasi. So my mom came to temple, ISKCON temple, which was in the outskirts of the city. It's all jungle area. So what happened? Fast forward, May 29th. So May 31st was the Nirjala Ekadashi. May 29th, my mother was not feeling good. So I asked my mom, like, what happened? Why you're not feeling good? And she told that I don't know what happening, but I'm hearing different kinds of sound. I was like, okay, maybe something is gonna happen. So my mom went inside the room, and suddenly what happened, I don't know. I was sad. I was sitting outside, but I felt something that I should go inside, because I felt in my heart, no, it's not good for me to sit outside. I should go and sit with my mom. And I went inside my room, and my cousin sister also came. My cousins and everyone was there. So they came in my room. I called my sister. Okay, there's something is going to happen. So I started Nasima Arti and Prabhupada's Kirtan. And suddenly this spirit completely no, this spirit was not good. This spirit was extremely bad. This spirit started to attacking. My mom's voice was changed, and everything changed. So whenever there is a positive soul, the positive soul comes and talks and express their feelings, and tell us, please do this thing for us and we will get mukti. But this soul was trying to harm us, trying to harm my mom, attacking, and a lot of things were happening. My cousins were afraid, like they are terrified, like what is happening this. And I hold my mom and I make my mom to sleep. I pushed her on the bed, and the spirit started shouting on me, saying a lot of things. So now this we all heard from Chaitanya Charitamrita that once you get the darshana of a pure devotee of a Lord, you get mukti. All your sins are purified. You know. So at that time, I was hearing Radheshyam Prabhu lectures and Radhanath Maharaj lectures. So I started to ask this soul, why are you shouting? Are you in pain? The soul started to nod, and somehow I was in conversation with this soul, and I saw I started to play Radhanath Maharaj's Kirtan, and the soul become, calm. And I asked, if you want to see this person, the person who is singing in the audio? The soul was like, yes, I want to see this person. And when I saw the photo of Radhanath Maharaj Swami, the soul, the spirit immediately bowed, did Dandavat Pranam and shouted Haribol and just vanished. So this thing happened and I was shocked because this is the first time where a negative spirit possessed. Because if positive spirits used to come, that's okay. But this is negative spirit. I was shocked. What is this? What is happening here? So next day I went to college and I came back. I asked my mom, what happened to you? Yesterday. Tell me everything. So my mom told after coming from Narsimha Chaturdasi, she stopped chanting Hare Krishna. I asked why you stopped chanting Hare Krishna. She told whenever I used to chant Hare Krishna, I used to hear a lot of noises telling, please let us come, let us in your body, a lot of terrifying sounds. So that's why I stopped chanting Hare Krishna. And I don't know actually what happened. There's a lot of sounds were coming. Please let us in, let us in, let us in. I was shocked. And then I told my mom, now chant Hare Krishna with me. So I brought chanting mala beads for my cousins also. We are all sitting and chanting Hare Krishna. And my mom again got possessed. It was, dancing, chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Bol. And she told, this time a lady spirit came. She was prostitute. So I kept photo of Srila Prabhupada ji, photo of Srila Prabhupada ji and Radha Sham Sundar. And suddenly, I don't know what happened. The spirit saw that photo and bowed down and started to talk, telling Prabhupada ji that, yeah, yes, I'm prostitute. And we are whole gang. We are 6 spirits in this house. And because you told us, so the story was the 6 spirits followed my mom on the Narasimha Chaturdasi because they want to get mukti. And one spirit told the 6 spirits that you go and take darshan of ISKCON temple, you will get moksha or mukti. So these spirits try to see the ISKCON temple, but they are unable to see because the whole temple was like a gufa and they are unable to get inside and they are unable to see any temple. They like it's whole mountain. They're saying it's mountain, but there is no mountain, there is no gufa. There was a temple, but they were unable to see the temple. But when they followed my mom, they were able to see a temple and they told that the temple is emanating golden aura. And our Prabhupada used to say that my temples, like Prabhupada's temples, are Vaikuntha. So we have to keep faith that ISKCON temples are not ordinary temples, they are Vaikuntha. And the spirit told when first time in our 13 years of life, they died in 2009. Accident. They were like kidnappers. The work is to kidnap and kill people, and that whole area is meant for that only kidnapping, killing people. A lot of suicide used to take in that place. So, and they told they were unable to come inside the temple. So Prabhupada ji came outside of the temple, and Prabhupada ji told these 6 spirits, "You go with this person, like my mom, and on the Nirjala Ekadashi, which will occur on May 31st, you will get liberation. You will all get liberation." So these spirits were followed my mom and they were staying in our home for 1 month, and a lot of devotees, some devotees used to stay nearby us. When they came to our house, they used to say like, why your home is so chill? Like we also don't understand like why our home is so chill. So this lady spirit was telling and talking with Shila Prabhupada, just I'm a prostitute. I got into an accident. I saw this person and because you told to get. So I don't know what the conversation happened. Prabhupada told that you do this. She bowed her head and she went away. After that, her brother came. Her brother started doing same thing, and he had a talk with Prabhupada and he went away. Then another person, his name is Uday Ram. So this person was the purest soul among all the 6 spirits. So up to now, 3 spirits got mukti. Other 3 spirits are there including this Udayaram. So this Udayaram was good spirit, and there is another child spirit was there. The child was not coming inside my mom, but there is another person whose name was Bhima, and the Bhima was very angry with my mom because he is the one who asked to get a permission. He is the one who want to come first in my mom's body, but somehow the other spirits came. So he was angry with my mom. He wanted to harm. So Udayaram came and he explained everything. Like this has happened with us. In 2009, we were died because accident. I was a criminal at the age of 18 years. I raped a girl. I went to jail and I came out of jail. And my business was taking money from the people and killing everyone. And somehow or other we got into accident in 2009 and we all died. We were 6 members in the car and friends, all other friends. And we were suffering because our food was stool and urine and we are suffering. And somehow that I am praying. I went to a lot of Babajis to ask help, but they were unable to help. And then we saw this good spirit guide us, but everything he was telling, everything, every story. So because he wanted to prove that he was a good spirit, he went into our temple, our home temple. He sat there and told us everything. So I went to temple to ask help. So this devotee telling everything about our past life and everything, this spirit, everyone was terrified. Then the spirit himself told, take us to the temple. We will come with you and we will get liberation there. So we took the person with my mom, the soul possessed my mom. We took my mom to temple, and when Hassan has get into temple, the soul get liberated. The Bhima also get liberation. So the moral of the story is, first thing, we have to keep our faith in the things what Prabhupada told and what ISKCON is. Prabhupada used to tell that ISKCON is Vaikuntha. We can see the proof that ISKCON is a Vaikuntha when the six spirits were unable to see temple unless they were able to see with my mom. They told that when we saw the temple, the golden aura was emanating from the temple. First thing, we have to keep faith that the temple is not a normal thing. It's actually, Vaikuntha. Second, Hare Krishna Mahamantra can give liberation. Well, whenever a soul comes, they chanted Hare Krishna and they went away. Third thing, just by saying a pure devotee, our sins actually get rid of. When the first spirit saw Radhanath Maharaj Swami's photo, the spirit got mukti immediately. I have to keep faith in words of Chaitanya Charitamrita, scriptures. Faith in the temple, faith in the scripture, faith in the chanting of holy name, and faith in that Hare Krishna mantra can, give us whatever we ask. So after this happened, I discussed with my mentor. So my mentor told, what is your childhood dream? He asked me. So I told Prabhu, actually in childhood, I used to think I want to become a tantric. I want to become a tantric Baba because, I used to see the spirits who are suffering and, just telling that these things have happened with us, these things. So I want to become a good tantric Baba and help these spirits. So my mentor asked, how many times you thought about this thing when you were chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra? I was Prabhu, lot of times. Lot of times. I used to think that, okay, by chanting Hare Krishna, maybe I give them mukti. So my mentor told, because they have this kind of desire, Hare Krishna Mahamantra fulfilled your desire. So if how my we have to think that whenever we chant Hare Krishna mantra can fulfill our all desires. So we should have faith that Hare Krishna mantra is actually a chinta mani. So whatever we think, it gets fulfilled. So there is a faith of Ghosh, like how the Ghosh believed in the words of Srila Prabhupada, and on the Nirjala Ekadashi, everyone got mukti, and before Nirjala Ekadashi also some spirits. So here's how: if you have a strong faith, and also this Udayaram told us three things: how you should keep yourself protected from the ghost. First thing, you should become mentally strong. Second thing, you should have a faith in your God, like whomever you are think. You have to have full faith in God because of these things. these things were happening. My sister tied kanthi mala to my mom, and still the spirits were coming. So my sister asked Udaram, like, why still the spirit is trying to possess my mom, even though we tied kanthi mala to my mom, because we know the wearing kanthi mala, we are always protected. Yamaduta also, terrified to come near us. But how this, chota bhoot is coming to us? So that I'm told us because they lack faith. Three things. First is we should be mentally strong. Second, you should have faith in the process in your God. And third thing, you should maintain cleanliness. Cleanliness is very important, bodily and mentally. You should have to maintain cleanliness. And by three things, you can be protected by ghost. And also, he told a lot of things to us. Which philosophy. We also speak about philosophy. He told us about Jagannath story, which was shocking, like how a spirit was speaking, and he told everything. And there is only one person who can give us mukti, that is Krishna. He told himself. So we should have faith into, because Krishna is known as Mukunda, one the person who can give us mukti, liberation from the bondage of this world. So that's all the story time. So forgive me if I took a lot of time. So I want to summarize it. So first thing I want to explain about the snapshot of devotion. But the snapshot of the snapshot is Shraddha, faith. What is the faith? Faith is the way, just like Jesus used to say, I am the way. Similarly, having faith in the process is the only way to get liberation. And killer of faith, we discussed about the killer of faith, like how false ego and familiarity with the senior devotees can kill our faith. False ego is nothing but being faithful to ourselves, rather being faithful to the process of Krishna consciousness or Guru and Krishna. That is, this is my thing of false ego. False ego nothing but being faithful to ourselves rather than being faithful to Krishna and Guru. So that's how false ego, I see false ego has. And next we discuss about the story time, how these ghosts, these six spirits, having faith in the words of Srila Prabhupada, by chanting Hare Krishna with us, got liberation. And that's it. I want to, and yeah, snap it. So I want to tell that what is snap it? Snapshot doesn't has a beginning. In the beginning of the lecture, I told that snapshot means summary of a thing, or it is as a memory. You can click it as a memory. Like we have Snapchat. So why we use Snapchat? We use Snapchat to click the picture, to save the memories and to share with our friends. So devotional service is also a beautiful process. I want everyone to click beautiful memories in your mind. Keep it with you. Store it as a gold. Because gold is valued more. So keep these memories as a gold and share these memories with your friendly devotees who you are comfortable with. Share the stories of your devotional service. What you faced. Because devotional service is beautiful. Once Prabhupada told to his disciple that if I want, I can liberate you on the spot. But then Prabhupada says, but I want you to go through the joy of suffering in devotional service. Because suffering in devotional service is also a joy. So click the picture, whatever moment you go through in the devotional service, take the picture, take snap of that picture and save it with you. Thank you. That's the end of the lecture. Sorry if I told something wrong. Forgive me, all the devotees, because
Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for sharing your heart. So, a few things I would like to summarize. I mean, what I like basically. One thing is, I heard many times from Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada in his lectures basically, why these processes are important, where faith in holy name and devotee association. So when the example I can give is when birds fly in the sky, they migrate from one location to another location. Um, they form a nice flock and then they fly. So in the association, we get the power. So like, suppose I am going to temple. So there are very nice devotees, brahmacharis are also there. It's very good energy. Like you told in your story that that golden aura was coming. Prabhupada also told that these temples are Vrindavan only. So from this, and one time I think uh, I forgot the name. I was hearing a lecture of one Maharaj who visited Pune recently. He was saying some devotees, it's not for everybody. Some he said that some devotees just come to temple for purification. I mean, to get association of pure devotees and purify their sins. So for that also, I think one must be very intelligent or knowledgeable to know that by getting the association, I will be purified. So from his story, you can say that yes. And in many of the bhajans also, we have heard that दर्शने पवित्र करा यही तुम्हारा गुण. हम गाते हैं ना एक वचन, वही वैष्णव ठाकुर. So by seeing the pure devotee, we get purified. So this is for our own good. And yeah, holy name and pure devotee. One thing I wanted to mention, I forgot. Uh, maybe okay. I'll ask devotees to share their realizations from this lecture. Um, if you can raise your hands.
I can go if no one's going.
Yes, Prabhuji, yeah, please.
So thank you, Abhay Ram Prabhu, for a very nice class. I enjoy Abhay Ram Prabhu's company whenever he's there, and that's one of the reason I go for Hyderabad book tour. Today he told us one such story, but he has many such stories and many spirits he has delivered like this. He just told you one, and in Hyderabad when if you come, you will get the he narrates because after we do book tour in the evening we sit and he has these stories he shares. Then I have to tell him, now you come and drop me to the room because I cannot even go to my room after he shares such stuff. So, and he has these desires and he has done not just desires, he has done these things of going to crematoriums and smashan and have chanted there because he knows the spirits are there. And no wonder he got the name Abhay Ram. He's fearless. He's fearless because he has unshakable faith. He has unshakable faith in Guru Sadhu Shastra. One day before his initiation, I was asking him, what kind of name do you want? I want Prabhuji. I want something connected with Balram. And and I was sure something he'll get like that. So he got Ram in his name. It's nothing but Balram in our as per the name we have. So he got both. He got both because he's Abhay. He's actually Abhay. Who amongst us can go and in midnight to and not just that, he's compassionate Abhay because that much compassion he has. I mean, yes, those who are there following this practice, they will get delivered. But what about those who are most rotten fallen? So he has that desire to deliver them also. So thank you, Prabhu, for sharing your stories. And I think the day he got initiated, her mother also came. Her health was not good, so he was not happy with her to that she came. And they got initiated. That's a story in itself. Why, how much struggle they had to get initiation. And his mother also wore Kanthimala that day. I think she was not wearing it, but then she took it from Gurudev and started chanting also, right? And how is your mother doing now? Is she well?
Actually, Prabhuji, the reason why my mother was sick, I got to know after my initiation. The reason was in our family only because of jealousy and envious. Some people did black magic on my mom. There were four pisachas, not ghosts, but four pisachas. And there is whole big story which happened recently, like last 1 month only. She got freed from this all things. But yeah,
Wow.
so they were like khatarnak. They were one of the torturing spirits I saw. But somehow other when they left, they told thank you for introducing to Hare Krishna. I was like, welcome, please, bye, go.
You're not welcome.
And like Sarvasundari Mataji also witnessed because he went to Hyderabad because of Narasimha Yagna, and she witnessed how another spirit possessed, like Muslim spirit, also possessed my mom in her home.
At her home.
So,
Wow.
yes. So then my mother told that Prabhupada came and explained that this Muslim spirit was a Brahmana in last life, but because he was forced to eat beef, he took Muslim in this present life, but he met through an accident. That's why he was, staying in that place. But then Prabhupada guided towards him to my mother and spirit possessed and the spirit got liberation. So my mother told that Prabhupada came and told this whole story to her. Like why the spirit possessed you.
Yeah.
So now she is perfect because a lot of things happen between January to April, but now everything is
Okay.
fine.
We need one more class, Nandaraj Prabhu from Abhay Ram Prabhu for this January to May.
Yeah.
He has to share with us. So
Think
otherwise,
these things are Prabhuji nobody wants to share also. Even if people are
yeah, yeah,
suffering with these problems, they don't want to share also.
yeah. And if we read, I don't know if it is in Lilamrit or Miracle on Second Avenue. I think I read Prabhupada has encountered ghosts. The place that Beatles gave, not Bhaktivedanta Manor, but temperate teeter. It was in UK. The area starts with T. It's a big name. So when Prabhupada was staying there, a couple came and they were a bit disturbed. And somehow Prabhupada got to know that why they are disturbed. So the couple said, "We are not able to sleep all night." And Prabhupada said, "Why?" Because every day whenever in night we sleep, there's so much noise coming from the f- floor uh, floor above us. So Prabhupada said, so those staying above you, tell them not to make the noise. The thing is, there's no one staying above us. Our our apartment is 2 floors, and when if we sleep on first or second floor, there's always some noise. Someone dragging something with chains and making noise, all sorts of crazy noise. Prabhupada immediately understood what the problem is. Prabhupada said, "Okay, we'll solve your problem in one day, no problem." So Prabhupada said, "You just go out of the home for few hours and leave the house open." And then Prabhupada said devotees to go and do a roaring kirtan at their house. Then that's what devotees did. They went to every nook and corner in the house for 4 hours. They did kirtan, and then they invited that couple to again to stay in that house. And next day they came. That was the best sleep we had in so many years. There was no noise, nothing. What did you do? They said we just chanted Hare Krishna. Just chanted Hare Krishna. That's the we don't. It's easy to memorize a shlok, Nama Chintamani Krishna, like that. We can memorize so many shloks, Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha. But to put faith to develop something like even That's why Srila Gurudev quotes this so many times, that one of the time when Gurudev was there, said, Prabhupada leaned over and said, believe me when I say you are not the body, you are the soul. But it takes, we don't still identify ourselves as body. Even though they knows min yatha de, everyone knows. Everyone has by heart. But to realize it and to live that shloka is another level. That's why memorizing and all is fine. But to knowledge and wisdom is different. When you live by it, when you realize what this shloka, even if we, those who know hundreds and thousands of shloka, it is very good for preaching, but you have to realize and live by those shlokas also. That is next level. That is like very difficult, but it is doable, and it is doable, and it's, we have examples and we have people who are doing that. We can learn from them. So yeah, thank you, Abhay Ram Prabhu. Then Prabhupada's name was Abhay, and he also dealt with ghosts, pishachas, and you are also doing the same. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
There
Any
was
other? Hare Krishna, Vedant Pram.
um,
Yeah.
very well. Please accept my humble obeisances. I joined in the middle. I was like, I didn't know what I was hearing for a few minutes, and then I realized, okay. Then he was saying my mom, me, and all that. Okay, then I realized, okay, there is something going on here. Okay, for some time it took me to observe. Okay. Yeah, with I remember reading one of Prabhupada's memories books, where Prabhupada was asked, like, does the ghost take over the body? Like, does it enter the body? So, Prabhupada's, as Prabhu said, like Girdhari Prabhu, that there are few instances where Prabhupada has mentioned about ghosts, where he dealt with ghosts and all that. And Prabhupada says that they exert influence over the body and not two souls. I mean, the specific question was about, like, so we have the soul in the body. So does another soul enter the body? So it is, in Prabhupada mentioned that no, it doesn't enter the body. It actually exerts influence over the body. So I just wanted to remark that. Yeah, there are several instances where Prabhupada um, has spoken to ghost, or has not several instances, but at least few where, which have been documented. And there are instances, at least, where Prabhupada knew somebody is going to leave the body. Um, um, there is one instance where in South America, I don't know if it is Brazil or Mexico, where Prabhupada, like, he was entering after Kirtan, after Nagar Kirtan, he was returning to the place, like he was staying in a mansion, and he was returning to that house, and he entered, he came into the compound and he entered the house, and he again stepped out, and he went and embraced a few trees that were lined inside the compound, and he went back again. And next day, there was some storm or something, and all the trees were uprooted. There were, yeah, something I remembered that I read long back. Yeah, as Giridhari Prabhu mentioned, now I know two Abhays. who have seen ghosts. Jai. Thank you, Prabhu, for sharing. It was quite exhilarating. Harival.
I want to actually tell, like Vijayanasama Prabhu told, like the ghost doesn't enter in the body. Actually, it's true. The ghost or spirits never enter in our body because, you know, just like Prabhu told, like how there are two souls can stay in one body. But yes, spirit, first, how spirit takes control of our body is very scientific. First, the spirit attaches ourselves aura, like we have our aura. The first thing why the Udayaram, who the spirit told us to be mentally strong, is the reason is scientifically the ghost, whenever they want, they want to target someone, they make us mentally vulnerable. They create fear in our heart. So because spirits want to connect with our aura, and mostly our aura is, tamed with our emotions. If you are emotionally weak, your aura also become weak. So that's how those the source first make us mentally vulnerable, then connect themselves with our aura, and then they take our control of our body. It's not like they will enter in our body. Like they will, it's like if you have a friend who is very depressed and disappointed and crying, as soon as you get and sit next to him, suddenly you also start feeling, depressed and start crying because you got influenced by that person's aura. So similarly, the ghost, if they want to take control of our body, they tune our aura according to their aura, and then they take control of our body. And if you can do research on this, and so that's why in witchcraft, like we use salt to purify our body. So we use salt water bath so our aura can get cleansed. So we sometimes say we got another dosh or something. So people recommend to take salt or butter because salt is very purifying element, and there are a lot of salts for protection. People use black salt, different kinds of thing. But yeah, this is what, like, yes, Prabhu, the soul actually doesn't enter in the body, but yeah, it twins our aura according to that their aura and matches it. So then they take control of our body. Like we as a human, we have a higher frequency. The souls have a lower frequency. So first they make us mentally vulnerable to bring our frequency to their frequencies. Then they take control of our body. That's what I want to explain. That's it.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So, any other devotees would like to share, or we can move to diary chapter. Anyone would like to read diary chapter? Okay. One minute. I'll share. Let me see if I can share. Avaram Prabhu, are you able to share the diary chapter? I can read that.
Krishna, you want to share me the diary chapter 2?
Yeah, because
Yes,
my
wait.
mobile has a problem. It doesn't allow me to share.
Okay, bro, wait a minute.
Nishika Mataji. Okay. Nishika
Mm-hmm.
Mataji raised her hand. Mataji, would you like to read?
Yes,
Or do you have any question? Okay, okay. Okay, Mataji, you can go ahead.
Volume 3, Chapter 40. 40 Holy Name Brings Change of Heart. June 12 to 2001. On June 12, we packed up the festival program in Gorzo, Wielkopolski and headed back towards Lodz to begin final preparation for our festival there. Gorzo Wielkopolski has been a picnic for the devotees. We had been special guests in the city, and the authorities had made all the arrangements for our festival program. Devotee had had time to relax and had enjoyed the preaching. The light mood gradually changed as we drove south. The attack on our festival in Tommaso was still fresh in our minds, and word had spread amongst them that our hired security felt that Lodz was the most dangerous city in Poland. Although the Harinam parades held in Lodz before leaving for Gorzo Wielkopolski has been well received. The writing was on the wall in lots. Literally all the pervading graffiti in the city revealed the hate mentality of many of the young people there. Slogans such as Poland for Poles, Death to Jews, and Nazis rule here were common. Lodz was an industrial town with many factories, but still a good number of people are out of work. Boredom and frustration give rise to xenophobia, extreme nationalism, and such feelings cause people to attack events like our festival in Tomaszów. The further south we drove, the worse the weather became. Black clouds hovered overhead as we passed Lodz and neared our base. After looking out the window, one devotee turned to me. Maharaja, some devotees feel we are asking for trouble by doing a festival in Lords. They say the same people who attacked us in Tomazov may come back. I replied, we shouldn't worry. Devotees are not afraid to defend themselves if necessary. I quoted Srila Prabhupada. Vaishnavas do not simply chant Hare Krishna. If there is need, they can fight under the guidance of Vishnu and become victorious. Generally, a Vaishnava is non-violent. However, if Krishna wants, we shall be prepared to become violent also. Lectured London 1973. I added, but if there's trouble, we won't have to do the fighting ourselves. We will be well protected by our hired security team for the entire 3 day festival. Don't worry, their presence will act as a deterrent to anyone who would want to harm us. We must go ahead with the festival. Many people are expressing a desire to attend. All the big local newspapers have written articles about the festival. If there's anything we should worry about, it's those dark clouds. They are our most formidable enemy right now. Not wanting to worry the devotee, I didn't share with him the advice our security firm's manager gave at a recent meeting. Despite all the security we are offering you, there remains one way your enemies can stop this festival for good. What's that? I said. Looking at me intently, he said, take you out. Coming closer, he continued, you have to take precautions from now on. From the attack in Tomaszów, it's obvious that some people will go to any extreme to try to stop your festival. Here's a brochure describing different types of bulletproof vests. You'd be wise to place an order. I was taken aback. Wear a bulletproof vest? What would a sannyasi of your think of that? They carried water pots and staffs, and here I'll be wearing a bulletproof vest and carrying a can of CS tear gas, a fighting stick tucked into my dhoti. I was going to tell him that Krishna protects his devotees, but I realized that Krishna expects his devotees to use their intelligence as well. The story of Narad Muni initiating a cobra flashed through my mind. Narad had accepted the cobra as a disciple, and at his initiation ceremony, the snake had promised to follow the four regulative principles. But Narad Muni requested one more discipline of him: don't bite anyone. Having heard that the snake had been told not to bite, children started throwing sticks and stones at it. The snake returned to Narad Muni's ashram that evening and complained about being taunted by the children. Narad Muni chastised his unique disciple, saying, I instructed you not to bite, but I didn't tell you to give up your intelligence. If the children come near you again, simply show your hood as if you are going to bite. Then they'll run away. The security team manager added, "It's your decision, of course, but don't underestimate your enemies." I pushed the brochure back across the table and he pushed it back again. "We are not playing games here," he said. "Give me your measurements." Back at the Spring Tour base, we received a letter from the police in Tommaso informing us that they had discovered that on the day of our program, a priest had rented a van in Rzeszów, 50 kilometers south to Tommaso. That van had transported 15 tough-looking boys to a parking lot not far from the festival site. Witnesses had seen the boys hurrying to the site near the end of our program, and 20 minutes later running back to the van, which then sped off. Further evidence indicates that these boys may have been responsible for the havoc that night. The investigation is continuing and legal action is to be taken at its completion. The night before the first day of the Lord's Festival, I tossed and turned in bed, unable to sleep. I was anxious about the event. I knew this could turn out to be a wonderful festival with a huge attendance, if only because we had done more advertising for it than for any festival before. We had distributed almost 50,000 invitations, put up more than 1,000 posters, and been featured throughout the media. The stage was set, but two things weighed on my mind: the frustrated youth of Lords and the rain clouds continuing to hang over the city. Finally, I fell asleep. When I awoke, the first thing I did was look out the window. The clouds were darker than ever, and I could feel the air thick with moisture. I asked a devotee to buy a newspaper, and when it came, my fears were confirmed. Rain was predicted. But my eyes caught another concern which had it been brought to my attention. Not far from our festival and scheduled simultaneously was to be a major soccer match, a sure sign of trouble. I offered puja to my Narsimha with all the devotion I could muster, then attended the morning program with the devotees. After prasadam, we boarded the bus to the festival site. We worked under the ominous clouds for hours, setting everything up. At 4:30 p.m., we opened the festival to a small crowd. An hour later, the crowd had grown to only 2,000 people. Of course, many yatras would consider such a crowd a success, but our problem is never getting too few people. It's how to deal with the huge crowd we often get of 10,000 or more. I attributed the poor attendance of the possibility of rain, but the rain held off. Things were going smoothly, but the 15 men on the security team appeared nervous. They understood the nature of the youth in Lords and that any trouble at the nearby soccer match could easily spill into our festival. Personally, I couldn't see how these men had anything to worry about. Each of them were over 200 centimeters tall and built like a fighting machine, huge muscle, fierce eyes, and angry skulls. All of them were dressed in black and well armed. Finally, I approached the man in charge of security and asked him if everything was all right. He said he had no worries but that he did want to speak to me about something. "Maharaj, I don't want my men eating your food anymore. During the festivals, your devotees have been giving them all kinds of things to eat from your restaurant. Are you worried there may be drugs in the food?" "No, I know your pure standards. The problem is that your food has a special effect on my men. It makes them like everyone." "What do you mean?" "It makes them smile all the time. It makes them soft and loving and compassionate. These men have to be tough to do this job. Your food is turning my lions into lambs. Just look over there. I glanced toward the restaurant and saw two of his men eating samosas and laughing and joking with the devotees. They were never like this before, he said. It's the food, the singing, and the whole atmosphere. Okay, I consented. When the festival season is over, we'll give them prasadam to take home. I wandered over to the stage just as Srila Prabhupada and Village of Peace began to play. Darkness was falling, but I could still see the security men in black guarding the stage. As Srila Prabhupada and the band broke into a number in which they chant Hare Krishna, I looked closely at the security men and saw the truth of their chief's words. The men were swaying back and forth, chanting the holy name. I left it to the chief to tell them not to sing on the job. For me, it was once again confirmation of the power of the holy name to turn hearts of steel into hearts of butter. As the rising sun immediately dissipates all the world's darkness, which is deep like an ocean, so the holy name of the Lord, if chanted once without offenses, can dissipate all the reactions of a living being's sinful life. All glories to that holy name of the Lord, which is auspicious for the entire world. Padyavali text 16. I felt myself relax. After days of worrying about the festival, nothing had happened, and I could see the fruits of preaching. Then suddenly I saw them coming. A gang of youths appeared on the fields out of nowhere. I recognized them as skinheads by their attire. Dressed in black boots, tight levis, and t-shirts, they moved slowly towards the crowd. They were as angry and hateful as the skinheads who had attacked us previously, and as the youth I had seen on the street. I remembered the devotees' query on the bus. Maharaj, some devotees feel we are asking for trouble by doing a festival in Lords. They say the same people who attacked us in Tomazov may come back. I saw our security men move in closer, bracing themselves for trouble. The skinheads wandered slowly through the festival area, keeping in a big group as they always do. As people saw them, they backed away, and I even saw some leave, fearing violence. I looked again towards the security men and saw them hastily planning a strategy if a fight broke out. The situation was tense and my adrenaline was flowing. I touched my jacket to make sure that my tear gas and fighting stick were still there, and then it happened. The skinheads moved quickly into the crowd of dancing young people and stood there for a moment as if waiting for a signal. The security men moved towards them. Srila Prabhupada and the Sri Prahlad and the band, obviously oblivious to the danger, were singing another song which contained the Mahamantra, and the drummer played a driving beat. I jumped on stage. It would be a good vantage point if there was a fight. When, to my amazement, I saw some of the skinheads begin to tap their big black boots to the music. Then, as our powerful sound system carried the Mahamantra far and wide, some of the skinheads stood there as if dazed, then slowly but surely repeated the words of the mantra. After a few minutes, all of them were chanting and swaying back and forth, a little self consciously at first. As soon as the kids saw them chanting, they grabbed them and pulled them into the kirtan, where they too started dancing wildly. Eventually, they were absorbed in kirtan, chanting Hare Krishna at the top of their lungs and twirling and dancing with abandon. I sat down in the front of the stage in astonishment. As I did so, As I did so, I saw the security men back off to their original positions, smiling to themselves. I said to myself, what is happening here? How is it that these boys who came here to fight are now laughing and dancing with the devotees? How has this sudden change of heart come over them? I looked at Sri Prahlada. He was perspiring as he chanted the holy names with his deep faith from the stage. He leapt and twirled through the air. I looked at the audience and saw skinheads, teenagers, children, and adults holding hands and dancing in a circle. The lights from the stage illuminated them and made them appear like a fire band being twirled around. As the kirtan went on, I sat there in amazement. At one point I thought, my God, this is what it must have been like during Sri Chaitanya's kirtan, the gentle and ruffians all chanting the holy name together in ecstasy, by his unfathomable mercy. Knowing it to be one of those rare occasions we experience only once in a great while in Krishna consciousness, I decided to simply relish it. Then suddenly the band stopped and the kirtan was over. The skinheads, still laughing, turned around and began to walk out of the festival grounds. In a moment they were gone, although we could hear them at a distance, in the distance singing Hare Krishna. I immediately thought of the pastimes of Haridas Thakur living in a cave with a dangerous snake. People hesitated to come to see him, so one day the snake, being inspired by the super soul within his heart, slithered away. It seemed to me that these hooligans had been directed by the Lord within their hearts to chant Hare Krishna. Then the Lord sent them away. All glories to the holy name, all glories to our most merciful Master, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is the shelter for the whole cosmic manifestation and the actual protector of his devotees. Chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, his own holy names which bring auspiciousness to the world, his hand trembling with the love as he touches the knotted string around his waist to count the number of names. His face bathed in tears as he comes and goes, eager to see his own form of Lord Jagannath and bringing great delight to the eyes of all. May the golden form of the Lord protect you all. Sri Chaitanya Charitam.
Line with the theme that is organically getting built in today's session, which is being fearless. Abhay, how Gurudev knew that there is danger and devotees were saying no, and even the secret service was saying no. He still went ahead with the festival, Abhay. And what faith? Why? Because he had faith. He had faith in the holy name. I mean, it's perfectly matching with what we discussed today. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji, for reading chapter. Sorry, I had somehow dropped. Any questions, viewers? I think Kavya Mataji, Kavita Mataji raised hand, but that time we were reading the diary chapter. So Mataji, do you have any question or you wanted to share something?
No, Prabhuji, I was just going to say I could also read.
Okay.
That's okay. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. So basically, the Gurudev's whole life has been like Abhay. Like Prabhuji, the stories which Prabhuji shared. In real life, he has been seeing all these things, all these challenges. And the only thing he had is faith in his Guru Maharaj and the holy name. So that's what we have to continue. Um, from my experience, when we go through all these down phases, so like it's not like that we always have this Utsaha Nishyat Dharya. So patience we can keep, but the gussa is not always there. Enthusiasm goes away sometime. We feel low, um, and sometimes like we need devotee association to bring that back. So we have some devotees around, and including me also. Sometimes I go very low in my enthusiasm and only chanting goes like just chant my rounds, and that's all. Nothing else. Office and chanting, office and chanting. Only the weekend when we go to temple and then things become normal. So it's like a booster for us. So we should go to temples, nearby centers, and boost. That way we can develop. But someone may think that by just hearing, I mean, how can I keep the faith? While going through real problems, people think that how am I going to be protected by maybe the holy name or maybe by whatever we discussed. It may be offense. I don't want to bring those things. I mean, those words in my mouth. But sometimes it is there. The best way is that we discuss with other devotees who is senior to us, who can guide us. And then we take the association, go to temple, attend the artis. Um, yeah, that's all from my side. Anybody else wants to share these things? We should not keep to ourselves. We should share. Um, by this way, we can say that even by hearing your stories or maybe my stories, someone may relate to it. Yeah, I am also having same problem. So whatever Prabhuji is doing, I can do. So best to share among the devotees, not to outside world. Because whenever we are, so Abhay Ram Prabhu has given so many, I mean, proofs that whenever we associate, we share the energies. So I have the astrologer devotee. Um, he never associates with any non-devotees. Like if he does, he will be like, will not touch the body. I mean, so even touching the body shares your energy, shares your karma also. So I was reading one astrologer that he mentioned that by associating, you share the karma of other person or your karma to other person. So depending, um, it depends. I don't know who shares to whom, but it happens. We should be careful about all those things. Thank you very much. So if nobody has questions or realizations, then we can close because we are already on top of time. Yes, Mataji.
Quickly, while we are still on that same topic, just wanted to share it. It was actually a dream, and I'm not sure if it is in real happening. So, as Abhiram Prabhu had mentioned, twice it happened with me where I am. It's with the Mahamantra, and I have the spirits who are running towards the Mahamantra to get liberated. So one was the spirits, the ghosts, and the second time it was the zombies. So yeah, the power of the holy name is just as Abhiram Prabhu and Vijay Narasimha Prabhu also and Giriraj Prabhu had mentioned. It is quite the only way for them to get liberated. Yeah, so just wanted to share that. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Okay, then we'll close the session. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यो च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमः अनन्तकोटिवैष्णववृन्द की जय नामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। हरि ओम।